My, they played alligator pie. Brought out Corey Wrong for 41, but not before Joyride. They play Cry Freedom and So Riding Jimmy. Then said this will be the day I drive in and drive out. First crush opener since '07. D&B Post Show stream starts now. When you go to a Jamaican eatery here in Hartford or New York City, right, where there's a huge Jamaican population, and the person that takes your order is extremely rude, all that means is you're about to have the best Jamaican beef patty of your life. I can attest to this. When D&B opens a show with two-step, rest assured it is a sign that this show finna be off the charts. And that's what happened Gorge Night 1. I want to focus in on the ending of two-step, the last 4 to 5 minutes of two-step. First two-step opener since Railbird 21. And what a way to open a festival, eh? You know, you think you're getting a cookie cutter set and they open with two-step, right? So let's take a listen. This is from SiriusXM, Dave Matthews Band, Radio Channel 30. Get the app, listen to these shows, especially with this alleged fall tour coming. Sign up. It's not that much a month. Get it and listen to these on Fridays. I love listening to these Friday night concert series. So we're going to go ahead and just play a little bit of the intro. Imagine you're at the Gorge, first night, the sun is setting. It's going to be When the World Ends or One Sweet World Light without the real authentic old school extended intro. Nah, it's going to be two-step. By the way, that is the first part of two-step. Dave did the second verse twice. He never sang the first verse out. And some people, well, Dave messed up the lyrics. Bruh, I will never complain about Dave messing up the lyrics or freestyling the lyrics or doing a different verse in a different place. Okay? I love the fact that he actually did the second verse twice, even if it was a mistake. But I love it. It's beautiful when this band, you know, Dave messes up a lyric or sings the wrong thing and the band just adjusts. So not only are you getting a two-step opener, you're getting a unique two-verse, second verse, or the second verse two times, whatever you want to call it. This is the second two-step of the tour to start off the Gorge, only played at Deer Creek. And let's go ahead. We're going to skip all the way through to, again, listen on the SiriusXM app, D&B Radio Channel 30. You can listen to the whole thing. We're going to skip through to the end of this because what I love about this ending is instead of having Tim play a long solo and then have all this extra for 3 hours, it's condensed and focused and more powerful, and it's gonna be much shorter but better. Let's take a listen here. So right there you have Carter doing his crazy drumming stuff and Tim doing his subtle electric guitar stuff instead of being blasted up like he used to be years ago. They've turned him down in the mix just slightly, at least for the SiriusXM mix. And so Tim can go off and still do the magician stuff he does. But when he's turned down in the mix, we can appreciate Carter. We can hear Dave's guitar. I want to hear Dave's guitar. The band is named after Dave. And so many times he's been drowned out by a trumpet or electric guitar. And that's a mix thing. Okay. But they mixed this thing right. They had it so right. All right. Let's listen because Buddy is going to now come in and push them keys like Pusha T in the Clips or Pusha T and No Malice back in the day. So you have Buddy. I'm going to keep it a buck. Y'all probably already noticed. The older two steps when it was just the keys solo, it didn't, never did it for me. What I like about this, the keys are surrounded. He has cover. So you got Carter going off. He's not slowing down and letting the keys. Nah, the keys are a part of the whole collective going ham right now. So you got you got Tim doing the little electric guitar, but he's turned down. What Tim's sound reminds me of when Dave has the Barry for songs like So Right. They don't turn him as much up in the mix because if his full Matchbox amp was turned up, you're not going to be able to enjoy the aura of everyone else in that song. So they got Tim he still has that a little bit of, overdrive there, but at the same time, he's turned down so you can hear the Barry pop in. You can hear a little bit of trumpet. You can hear everyone. Stefan's bass was heard so much last night. Again, all I want from a DMB show, I want to hear Dave's guitar, I want to hear Stefan's bass, and I want everyone else to just cook the way they know how to cook. And a trumpet to not be at the high register. But that's which they didn't last night. Rashawn was down low. He was like, on that blackjack. Come on, son. On the blackjack, he was, that's what I want from a trumpet. Anyway, let's proceed. This is exactly what, I'm not trying to diss DMB. This is what when I finally understood Fish, was when I understood you got Page against the Machine cooking up a keys part, while Trey is doing his electric guitar part, while Fishman is doing his drum part, and Mike Gordon is cooking up a bass line all at the same time. The simultaneously brilliance of every single musician all being heard in the mix at the same time is what makes this two-step so special compared to some of the ones in the Buddy era. And since I've been going, I've only seen post Roy shows, but those shows too. Everyone is heard individually, all cooking up at the same time, and it's amazing. And this is what I want from this band. I want to be able to hear these different subtle pieces of the band. I don't want a wall of sound for most of these songs going, and all you hear is electric guitar and maybe trumpet. You can't hear Dave's guitar. I want the subtle pieces of each talented musician in this band being heard. Okay? And this is what we got from this two-step. And this is why I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm talking about this two-step longer than the actual performance. So it's your boy Conservist34. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.
It's your boy Conservist34 back at home.
What up? It's your boy Conservist34.
Yep, so your boy Conservist34 coming to you here.
What up? It's your boy Conservist34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, compare DMB to now to when I first started, and I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was the end of the prime. 07, 08 was we're at the very end, and then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing, Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Washington, what up? Grant County, what up? The county that produces the most potatoes of any other county in the United States. Shout out Wenatchee. Leavenworth, right up Route 2, what up? Shout out Moses Lake. Shout out Ellensburg. Vantage, what up? Shout out Seattle. Bellingham, Washington, what up? Stevens Pass, what up? Squamami Pass, what up? Shout out East Wenatchee too, man. Oh, sorry guys, I'm on mute. I was talking smack about all you guys. That's good. But Daddy done put on a song that is the DMB Daddy, Mr. Dave Matthews. We have the return of Alligator Pie. We have the first Crush opener since '07. And Corey Wong and his amazing band did the thing. I don't think there should ever be a Jimmy thing unless they are on stage with the band. It just makes sense, right? Modern problems require modern solutions. So we're going to go ahead and just pop in the set list here. I will say, just listening from the crib, the first 4 songs did not feel like a Saturday night. It was laid back. It was more chill. Madman's has high energy, but it's just been played too much. It needs some spaces. 14 is reduced from last year, but I mean honestly, cut it down to maybe 5 to 10. Connor's in the chat. Dave Solo was cut. They play the Maker full band YAM. Thank you, Connor, for that. But I just think Crush overall needs a remodel. It needs an extreme makeover. It is just, I think the song itself, the verses are fine. That's what is powerful about it. The actual jam parts in the outro need a remodel. I think you could cut, take these chances and reduce that song by 4 to 5 minutes respectfully. So that's just how I feel um, about it. Is that like it's so predictable. It's like Cowboys fans being upset that their team lost a playoff game if they even make the playoffs. I really think it needs to be remodeled. One Sweet World is not a bad song. I still think without that old school intro, it is just a shell of itself. And like I said, Madman's Virginia in the Rain, I don't mind. I think though for a Saturday at the Gorge, first four songs, we leave all that behind, and then we really get the show. The show started at break for it. Even though that is more of a driving mellow song, Dave calls it some recorded. It's a driving song, right? But it's solid. It's a solid song, and again, there's space for the keys. There's space for everyone to be heard and no one to be drowned out. Then you get a Nancy's Warehouse, solid. Monsters, which to me is one of the songs that just has staying power from the latest album, Walk Around the Moon. Monsters, Tim's solo, the playing through of it, it gets in, it gets out, it does its job. Then Lover Laid Down, we get Jeff Coffin cooking up that soprano sax solo. Anytime he's on that soprano sax, you know it's about to go down. And then after Lover Laid Down, we get an Alligator Pie. We'll talk to Connor and try to connect with Deb as well, which is, if we look at where this band was the last time they played Alligator Pie in 2018. 2018, the day before the night before show in St. Paul, Minnesota, XL Energy Center, Boyd says, "Hey, I'm stepping aside," and this band had it. Listen, the sound that night from people that were there, they told me, two of my friends were there, Amanda and John. Listen, it was a rough show, but what else would you expect when such a crazy change, a seismic shift in the band's personnel? But they boldly tried to play this Alligator Pie as like hey, we're gonna bring this thing out. It hadn't been played, I think, since 2013. Prior to that, in 2018. And they said, we're going to try this. And that's the spirit of this band. They're willing to take chances, right? And tonight, just think about how it sounded, at least from the couch tour. The way it sounded in 2018, they were trying to just figure out how to get this done. It's a song we don't need a violin for. Let's try to play it. And they still tried to power through it admirably. But then tonight, just nailing it. Buddy bringing in his stuff, first time playing this song. They did the thing. They did the dang thing with the song. Then we go ahead and move on. They just slide into Joyride. Like, I don't think Dave is writing. Someone else is writing these sets. These sets do not make Dave Matthews Band sense. The fact that you don't have a dud like You and Meh or Can't Stop. Like, they just were boom, 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 boom. You killing me? Lover Laid Down, Alligator Pie, Joyride slides into the DMs late at night for a sneaky link into the set list. And just, Joyride. Then you have a 41, but this is not your cousins that brought you to your first Dave shows 41. Corey Wong channeling the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, not the bridge pickup. The bridge pickup's closer away towards the tuning knobs. He channels the neck pickup, John Mayer type, on the cusp of the clean and overdriven sound. Right at that, you're flirting with that sound. It's a nice clean sound, but it's just flirting with that overdrive. And it brings a bluesy, soulful feeling that you don't get from this song nowadays. The tone of Tim Reynolds is what he does, and Tim Reynolds is extremely talented. But what we don't get in these post-Flectone touring with the band days, what we don't get from this current band, we don't get that bluesy smooth, clean guitar type feel. Outside of like songs like Again and Again, and actually One Sweet World, Tim does have some much more of a cleaner sound, a funkier, smoother sound, right? But the way that Corey played this song, he said it was a dream of his to play with Dave Matthews at the Gorge and play number 41. Right? And let's just take it back to... I want to take it back to a reel that I posted. I got permission. Someone sent a fan sent me this and said, "Hey man, you gotta check this out." But let's go to my page because I want to promote myself. Just kidding. But there's a reel where a fan Corey Wong had meet and greets, and part of the meet and greet he'll cover certain songs. And he covers number 41 with his band. So I want to go to the short here. I have it on screen. And then we'll get Granny on and everyone else on. But this is Corey Wong covering Dave Matthews Band with his band. Let's listen here. Oh. All right, so there you go. That's Corey Wong. That's in Boston. That was the Boston tour stop. So there you have it. That was something, and he's mentioned what Dave meant to him. Also, I will just say Connor was at the show, right? Connor was we're going to talk to him in a second, but he was also at the MSG show, I believe. And that MSG show, they did not allow Corey Wong's sound to really come out. Maybe it was a last minute ad. I don't know the elements. A lot of times there's not rehearsal time. A lot of times it's just you pop, like you don't have a sound check with the band. The band doesn't even do sound checks anymore, if we're honest. Like they really just play in the back. What you're hearing 99% of the time now, you're like, oh my gosh, they're sound checking. No, that's they're playing music through the PA. All right. But nonetheless, when I heard him at MSG, you could hardly in that room feel that Corey Wong shine. Tonight, you heard him during Jimmy thing have distinct tone that was heard. You heard him on number 41 during that solo part. His amazing tone, his techniques were heard. So that's a great thing. I just got where we're going to talk to Deb, and I'm trying to see if Sam, Granny Jones will come on, but I think they're kind of tired. So we're going to talk to them tomorrow, and we'll reflect on this awesome weekend where Deb has hit show 100. Not as a way to flex guns and say I'm better than you, but just a milestone and just looking back at all the great memories you have through 100 shows. But let's reach out to Connor, who just went to show number 50 and is really just doing what he can to get to as many shows as possible throughout his Midwest stops. And then, of course, he comes out west when he can, and he also has been out east. Let's reach out to Connor here.
Marcus, how's it going?
I am doing well. Tell us about this Gorge Night 2 show that you just experienced.
It was a very solid show. I mean, definitely a different energy as of yesterday's show, but I definitely don't really have a lot to complain about for the set list. Corey Wong and his band did great for 41. Jimmy Thing got some rarities in there, but overall it was a pretty good show.
And what did you think about? We talked about. I know you were listening about the beginning of this show. I got some texts from other people. Some fans say, "Hey, it feels mellow. It feels like they're not turned up. Like the opener was two step on Friday, and now they do crush, but then it's like, but they don't have that like, oh wow, boom." What did you personally think about the first couple of songs here?
So yeah, it definitely got off to a slower start than Friday, but I mean, it's pretty hard for them to top a two-step opener. Like the only way for them to get more energetic than that is doing like a Halloween. So I can understand them, you can't open with anything much more powerful than two-step. And I feel that Crush, first time opening a show since like 2007 or something like that, was a very solid choice on Dave's part, in my opinion.
All right, yeah, and 8107, last time Crush is played as a full band opener. There is a caveat. I was talking to the Almanac boys about this here. There was a show that you guys see on your screen where the DMB two sets, West Palm Beach, July 31st, 2015. Crush did open the electric set, but technically that was not the opener of the show. So both of those are very far removed, 2015 and 2007. So it is something very unique there. What was like the loudest moment as far as the crowd for this entire night?
Probably either 41 or Jimmy Thing, just because like those are two big fan favorite songs. I guess during Dancing Nancy's also the crowd, you got a pop from a lot of glow sticks were thrown during Dancing Nancy's. I myself may have partaken in the glow stick throwing action during Dancing Nancy's, but it was one of those three songs for sure.
And what was your personal favorite of the night?
I mean, I love the song with the guests. I always appreciate hearing different sounds. But man, coming absolutely out of deep left field, Alligator Pie, just an insane liberation there. I do want to give a quick shout out to Drive In, Drive Out. It is a personal liberation for me of over 9 years, 3,300 days. But if I were to have a favorite moment of the show, it was definitely when they busted out Alligator Pie. And at this point, the question is, what are they going to bust out tomorrow?
Yeah, this was one that people wanted. There are pushes for American Baby. There are pushes for Gaucho. And many other songs. So we'll have to see what they pull out there. And for excuse me, for this show, we we had Blind Pilot, but we also had Corey Wong as that kind of act before. What was it like to see Corey Wong's set tonight?
Corey Wong's set was electric. I mean, it was pretty fun. Just like a jazzy, funky set. Lots of horns up there, but each member of the band had their moment to shine. Like there was a bass solo at one point. There was a key solo at one point. And there was no singing throughout any of that set. So it all just felt like one large jam, in my opinion. But overall, I thought that Corey Wong was pretty fun.
That's awesome. And I heard there was a violin player in Blind Pilot. People were trying to say, hey, keep him on stage for DMB.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention too much during Blind Pilot's set. There was a swag swap that my sister was really big into doing. So when Shane, Angie, and Boiler Mike got in and they were giving some stuff out, I kind of went up to the top of the hill during Blind Pilot's set. But to me, I think that this current iteration of the band, as much as it would be nice to bring back the original sound, they don't need a violin at this point. And just in my opinion, it's always great to have it as a guest, kind of like how they had it at the Gorge last year, Hollywood Bowl a couple of years ago. But personally, I don't. Just like when people keep saying, "Oh, bring the violin back full time," they don't need it. It would just cause more of a distraction as to what they're doing now.
I agree. I think that at this point, the chemistry is where it's at an all time high. They've overcome, like I opened up with Alligator Pie in 2018. What are we doing? Who are we? Are we going to add anyone? What are we going to do? They found Buddy. He raised morale. They are fine. A guest every now and then for Violin works to try to incorporate this late in the game of Violin to be there full time, work out the logistics, any legal things that Boyd may have, where there may be something you can't have a violin. I don't know. As much as people want a violin player, as much as I think certain songs benefit from it, overall, messing with the chemistry of this band and trying to figure out, even Dave, like trying to change his mind, is really just it's a fight you're gonna lose right for now. And I think sticking with what they got is important here. Let's talk about the posters. And before we do that, DMB fan 41, just message me. I don't know what your handle is or something if you've been on before. But we'll try to connect. If we can't get you on today, we'll try to get you on tomorrow. But I don't know what your social media handle is, but let me know and I'll try to see if we can get you on. If not today, definitely tomorrow. But poster situation today, what was it like here as far as the sales and the demand for the second panel of the triptych and also the poster I'm going to pull up right now, which is the Night 2 poster?
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty. Yesterday, getting entry into the venue was way easier than on Friday. They had designated lines for warehouse and general admission. The whole process just went so smooth today. And again, the Gorge staff absolutely killed it with their side of, getting people moving through that merch line quickly. The poster, the triptych panel, I didn't see it on the wall after the show. I mean, I'm not surprised that it sold out. And I'm not surprised that the Spoosta did not sell out either. That's not in my top 5,000 of posters. So I wasn't surprised to see that one on the wall after the show either.
Did you see the run for the Spoosta?
I said the run for the Spoosta was 20. The regular was 2,100. I missed the run for the foil, but I would assume it'd be close to 350. But I didn't see the run for the foil.
Yeah, that's a lot of posters for, like you said. I don't see. I mean, it's not the worst poster of all time, but I just, with all the posters everyone has, and people expecting the Gorge to really have bangers, to get 2,000 fans to buy that poster last night and tonight, the posters just aren't there. I don't even see a reason to line up for the regular show or event poster for that night. I can see, like, if you want the foil, if you want to try to get something special, but I just don't see a poster yet. That's been revealed, obviously, the stuff about tomorrow, but I just don't see a poster that makes me want to line up like when I was there in 2019 Saturday. That Sperry made people want to wake up at 10 a.m. and line up, literally 10 a.m. lining up for that Gorge Sperry. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens in future years, but I don't see it.
And I think, like, I saw a tease for the Welker tomorrow, and I think that's going to be, like, the heavy hitter poster. But just, like, back to tonight, I compare it to the Wilmington Night 1 poster of last year. I think that's, like, a reasonable tier, just in my opinion, for that. Oh, and I see the foil run. Apparently, 450 is the foil run for tonight, so more foils than yesterday.
Okay. And that makes sense with it being a Saturday. You're going to get just more people that have already established their campground. They're good to go. It's just, Saturday is usually the wildest pit night, the most people that will show up, because you do have some people that do only go 1 or 2 days even though most go 3. So that makes more sense. How was the sound in the ambience? We have the picture of you guys, the Rat Crew, there. But how was it tonight as far as the just overall sound?
I thought the sound sounded really great. I noticed that during Dancing Nancy's, it was hard to hear Carter throughout and this could have just been for the one tower of speakers that were facing us. I don't know how sound was throughout the rest of the venue, but I noticed that Carter got real quiet during the end of Dancing Nancy's, like his sound like completely shut off. And then during the main part of Warehouse, you couldn't hear the horns up until the Rashawn solo. But aside from like some technical bugs, the sound was really great in our area tonight.
That's awesome. Was there still? I know you talked about yesterday drone shots. Were there still drone shots on the screens at the Gorge where you could see the overhead view?
Yeah, they did the drone camera today for the camera angle, and a lot of people are speculating another drone show just because the last time they used a drone as a camera was in the pro shot video of that drone show from 2 years ago. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that rumor just because, like, to me that could have very easily been a one-off, but it'd be cool to see personally. But I think they're definitely gonna keep that drone camera angle of the venue.
Yeah, I would in my mind I think of it as two different things. The actual overhead drone video is one thing for, as you had mentioned, other people had mentioned to me, that's what you're seeing on the screens at the Gorge, versus having a drone show where you have formations and different things, and maybe it still does happen, but I would still think of it as two different things. So
yeah, I agree. I think it's two different things also. Like, people are saying on Facebook that, oh, they're seeing all the drones line up, and it's literally the windmills on the other side of the canyon. So I wouldn't hold my breath on it.
And any other things you notice about tonight's show, the flow, the environment?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the energy was different than yesterday, but, like, not in a bad way. Like, this was a very solid set. All of us had like our own personal stats like around us in our group that we all enjoyed. It was Boiler Mike's first joyride tonight. My buddy Dustin, his first So Right since before I was born, so that's a 22-year personal liberation for him. So all of us just had like our own parts of the show that we enjoyed, and overall the night was fun.
And you're at show number 50. That's a big milestone for any fan of anything, whether it's sports, music, to go to something 50 times. That's a major event. What are your thoughts about this point in your DMB live show kind of experience?
At this point, I'm just looking for more surprises and unexpected moments at this point. I don't really go into the shows anymore expecting to hear any specific song or any specific sort of, I guess, moment of the show. I just go in with a very open mind. And I just enjoy the music, and any rarity that I get is a fun surprise, like Blackjack yesterday, Alligator Pie today. And tomorrow I'm going in with the same mindset. It's going to be a great show.
And that's a great attitude to have. And excuse me. Hopefully you get that what you are tomorrow. It's the baritone brought out today for So Right, and brought out for Bayou on night 1. And so hopefully that's something that does come to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be the hope. I saw as they were bringing the guitar out for Why I Am, I literally thought it was What You Are for a second, and I saw Dave put it on, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be Why I Am.
Yep. And no soprano guitar for a second night in a row, I believe. There was no Idea of You yesterday. So we'll see if something like Shotgun comes in there, Squirm, or Idea of You.
Yeah, I definitely, at this point, after seeing the two big bust outs, realistically, anything is on the table for tomorrow. I know I was just saying I don't expect anything, but I really expect that tomorrow is going to be a great show, and it's going to be a great way to wrap a bow on this 2024 summer tour.
Well, Jimmy thing was phenomenal. We'll let it slide tonight. Bayou has already been played. So there's a lot of room for great things to happen in many different ways. For many different.
Yes, a lot of great things for you. Like we can get you a That Girl Is You tour debut for you. We can get a Shake Me Like a Monkey closer for you. I'm sure you're excited for those moments.
Hey, you're at the show. You're speaking this into your final Gorge show of this weekend. So hey, I'm out. I can go to sleep. I'm just playing with you. But thank you, Connor, for coming on, and we'll try to reach back out to you tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. I'll be happy to join tomorrow. Thanks for letting me on here.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that's Connor F. Coming on the post-show stream. Whoever it was, anyone who wants to come on, just message me to Mark, because it's like, what? It's 3 a.m. here in the East Coast. At this point, just message me. We'll try to add you on for tomorrow. Again, I know I just talked about it, but the posters, to me, this band is in an interesting spot because they continue to push out these posters every single year. They continue to consistently tour, right? They're not like Pearl Jam, but they only can play a couple of shows. Many of their other peers have to take breaks. It's just the way it is with how old, when you're up in age, like these acts, like Pearl Jam, D&B, even Fish, you're not going to have as many shows. They have tons of shows every year, over 30 plus shows a year. Many times they reach, over 40. And so with that, you have a lot of posters. And with a lot of posters means you have ideas that are created and you run out of ideas. At this point, they've had so many Gorge shows that the ideas are starting to dry up, and they've been kind of really dried up. And it takes A1 poster artists to take a different spin on it. And so a night like tonight, I do like that they've increased the accessibility of posters. The problem is you got Andre 2K posters, 2,100 posters of a regular print, and you don't have a print that's up to scale like the Sperry, the Gorge Sperry, or some of the other prints that did need that demand. You're not gonna sell posters, and who knows? It is what it is. This band is not gonna go broke because they can't sell posters, nor are these artists. So it's not like the end all be all. They're gonna try to sell as many as possible. So it's not gonna hurt the band's bottom line, but it's just you're gonna have a lot of posters on these poster sales. But the good thing is, for anyone who's a buyer who does like a poster like tonight, if that's your taste in art, listen, you can get it for face value. And I would just caution people who panic buy, even the glimpse of the night 3 that I saw, it may sell out, but this is a buyer's market for posters. Connor says the Welker. Yeah, I remember, I think someone sent, I'd seen a couple people, like, it was in his store. It was in, I believe, Welker's story. It looks cool. Will it still have the demand of some previous heavy hitter posters from the Gorge? I don't think so. I think even if it does sell out, you wait it out for a couple of months, you'll get it cheap. There's just so many prints now for these Gorge. There's so many in the run. To have over 2,000 in a run is a lot. Trying to think what else. Rick from Goose defended D&B, but I want to look more into that podcast. Trying to think of some other things. Apparently a kid, I don't know. Apparently a child was lost. If you guys saw some posts across some of the Facebook groups, a child was lost from their parents. I think their 2 parents were there, but they were not. It was like an 8-year-old boy, but they were reunited. If you did hear about that story, I did see an update where they did the parents and child were reunited, which is a great thing. But I think the band is, again, just in a really great spot right now. I looked at the first couple of songs and I was like, what's going on? And they came through with the rest of the show and it was phenomenal. So, and people like Crush. People like One Sweet World. I still think a Stone, like, listen, you open night 3 with the Stone. I mean, that's there's still a lot of great stuff that you can open up with here. But hopefully we can get Deb on tomorrow. And let me just see. Apparently, yeah, I've heard it's hot out there as well. 97 tomorrow. Now, dry heat is not the same as humidity, but there is no shade out there outside of some of the trees that are by Cave B that were planted to have the property line. It's like a tree line to separate the property. So these are hot days. If you've never been to the Gorge and you're coming from the south or other parts of the country, it's really, if you're outside all day in the sun, it can, I guess people were pulled off from the pit, and then if you're in the pit too. But I've been up in the Pacific Northwest in the 90s, all the way from Oregon to Washington State. I've been in Vegas when it's been like 120. It's a dry heat is not humid heat, but when you're out in the sun for prolonged periods of time, if you're mixing in alcohol and other stuff, it can get, and then you're in a pit, it can get pretty. You can still get dehydrated pretty quick. Someone says Nico Case and Maggie Rose tomorrow. Maggie Rose was with the people. Maggie Rose was outside on the lawn in the pit, chilling with the people tonight, right? Which is pretty cool. She came there a day earlier and, pulled up, decided to enjoy a day where she didn't have to perform and she could just be a fan. And there she was with the people. She's like, and she posted on social media, which is admirable. But Maggie, just be careful. Listen, these D&B fans will track you down, man. There's some stalkers in this fan base. So we'll see if they get Long Black Veil. Also, the big thing is the JTR tracker. JTR has not been in the Pacific time zone at all. Has not been at the Gorge since 2006. So we'll see what happens as far as if it is liberated. Unlikely, but you never know. They played Blackjack. That last Gorge show, the last show where we played, let's pull that up. Gorge was earlier. All right, it was not this one. This one? Is it 9-3? Yep, 9/3/2006, the last JTR. And obviously nowadays it's much more of a rain song. So who knows? It did rain. There was a thunderstorm a couple weeks ago at the Gorge, and maybe they would have played. Maybe they would have played it then, but oh well. All right, that's going to do it. D&B post-show stream. I got to get to sleep, rest up, do the same thing tomorrow, get a couple naps in. It's your boy Conservist34. If you want to be on, message me behind the scenes, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Conservist34. We'll try to get you on. That's it. 49 minutes. No, not bad. All right, take care, guys. Peace.
television on, staring blankly at the screen the way you do. I'll keep you there and your money too. If you all line up inside of here, do what I tell you and everything'll be okay. And if you're lost, I got a bobblehead Jesus. You get on your knees, that Jesus I please ya. The money is clean, 'cause we scrub it good. With guns and gasoline, we could save the world. Nothing's obscene if we only close our eyes. Boys and girls, welcome to this joyride. Come on, all of you won't have to lie. Get in line and everything'll be fine. We got toss-outs, trouble to the wind. We beat 'em all like we did in the end. The money is clean, 'cause we scrub it good. With guns and gasoline, I'm gonna save the world. Nothing's obscene if we only close our eyes. Boys and girls, welcome to this joyride. 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 Coming up a little song says get by, taking everything into account the way you should. Line it up, cause to be so good.
Thank you.